Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
This is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest today. It is a pleasure to have, again, another encore appearance for our favorite musician, Gary Blanchard. Welcome, Gary, and his wife, Carol Blanchard, and she is a poet. Now, Gary is now the person who wrote the new theme song. Some of you may notice, well, gee, when I'm turning this on, I'm not hearing the old theme song. I'm hearing a new one, and I'm seeing a beautiful, thanks to our co-producer, Glenn Fowler, gorgeous pictures of the water running down up in the mountains, the North Country, and it's now been blended in with Gary's song, Run, River, Run. And when I first heard Gary play that, a couple of years, over a year ago, I fell in love with that song. And then I didn't think about it. And then I heard it again. I said, you just know. That's what I think. And I ran it by Glenn. He said, sure. And so now it is our official new theme song, and we're very appreciative. Thank you.
And I'm very appreciative of having it as the theme song, so thank you.
You're welcome. Gary, both Gary and Carol were at our Upton's first night. And if you're from out of the country, out of the state, you're thinking, what's that? We're a very small town in New England, and we had our very first night, New Year's Eve, and it was a kind of a toss-out to see how it would go. And Gary and Carol appeared at a cafe that we have here in town, and we were able to get in, and we caught some of it. We wish the lighting had been a little bit different, but the idea was there, and we heard the music, and it was really good. So, first of all, Gary, how did you and Carol meet each other? I mean, we have a poet and a musician.
We met at Artscape in Baltimore City. I had a tape of music I was selling at a table, and this author comes with a book that she wrote, and she was very noticeable, but then when I read the book, I was absolutely blown away and said, I have to get to know this person. So
yeah, that's the beginning. You know, your heart's like, ooh, I want to get to... And did you think much about Gary when you first saw him at the table, or like, yeah, he's a nice guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. More than a nice guy.
Oh, okay. He was like sort of like, ooh. And then you started dating.
Right.
Right. And then you have how many children?
None with us. We were both previously married, and we each have a son through our previous marriage.
Well, that's a nice blended family.
it is.
Anybody else a musician?
My son plays bass.
Okay, you plays bass.
And I have a niece who is playing guitar now.
She picked it up by watching her uncle?
I don't think she picked it up by watching me, but probably that helped spark her interest.
Oh, it's in the family. I mean, you know, really. So let's get right down to it. Gary, you want to start us with a song?
All right.
All right.
And I know how much you like Run, River, Run.
Oh, I also love Milk and Honey on the Other Side. And then, when I see a crow in our yard, things a crow told me.
Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your home beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. Run through the land, and you run through my soul. Bring me wisdom and peace. Run through the ages, and all of life's stages. Bring me round to find my release. Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your home beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. Run through the valley, and you run through my heart. Bring me hope and relief. Run throughout time, you open my mind. Bring me comfort in my moments of grief. River, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your home beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. You run through the whole world, you run through my mind. Bring me to understand my place. Run through my mother, my sister, and my brother. Bring me power to deal with all I face. Run, river, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your home beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Oh my God, that was a treat. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the theme song for our show and the new theme song. And you just heard it played live right here. Gary, thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Can you share a poem with us, Carol? Show us a couple
Sure.
of your books that you brought with you.
Sure. This book is called Mystical Poems by 3 contemporary New England writers. I put it together. It contains my poems along with poems of our friend Richard Bachtold and poems by Nina Anderson. And then this is Poems of Peace and Renewal that I compiled, and it has a number of poets in it, including myself and again our friend Richard Bachtold.
Have you ever written a song, I think, with one of her poems? Have you created
I haven't created a poem from one of Carol's songs. She's inspired several, but
yeah. I would see that the two of you, I can see that, inspiring.
And
Go
then,
ahead.
And then actually some of his poems, Gary's poems, are in this book as
Yeah,
well.
Gary also
So-
writes poems. He's a talented.
and I would like to point out that actually Carol's not Carol Blanchard. She is Carol Mays.
Carol Mays, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
We're a liberated couple.
That's okay. You know, a lot of us hyphenate Jan Lewis Dash, but people know me on broadcasting as Jan Lewis, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's my full last name. Gotcha. Go for it.
So on the nature theme, this poem is called A Woodland Walk. The pensiveness of the sky is broken by the cry of a crow, by trees distilling intimacy and moist, vibrant expectancy. Violets, ferns, and birches share life-giving vapors. The chalk bleak horizon and pungent, poignant odors whisper sonorous secrets. The visitor is enveloped in this pithy, soulful world, all cells saturated with a suggestive sustenance.
Beautiful. When you said crow, immediately I'm thinking of your song.
Right.
Things the crow told me. Go ahead, give us another one.
Let's see. This is one of my newest ones. Again, it's a nature poem. It's called An Archetype. Somewhere in an old-growth forest, a woman smoothly moves amid shadows of the pines and hardwoods. Her mossy gown is verdant green. Her hair twinkles with mica, and her soul deep as a midnight sky, with remote star clusters beaming. She tends the ruins of an ancient inn and a bed of ferns and roses. Many a nomad passing through is revived by her grace and goodness. Though we can't lay hands on her, she wanders free within our grasp, for the ancient inn beguiles us still in the labyrinths of our minds.
Thank you, Carol, very much. When did you start writing poetry?
Oh heavens, I don't want to think back that far.
Okay, when you were a kid, right?
Since high school.
You were a kid.
Yeah.
Gary, you've told us that before, but when did you start doing tunes?
I started playing guitar at the age of 16, somewhere about 1967, and started writing songs shortly after that. Although there's only one song that's survived for those years.
Which one is that?
It's a song called Drinking Cherry Wine.
Oh, wow. That would be the time that you would come out.
Right.
Yeah.
A song about aging that I wrote at age 17.
Yeah, and then you had a more mature mind even then, right? And you were into Pete Seeger, did you mention, or Pierre
Right.
Paul and Mary?
Pete Seeger.
And your style is very folksy.
Right.
That
Right.
Can you, speaking of the crow that Carol just talked, can you sing us things the crow told you?
I could.
Can you? All right. I love that song. You know, every time I see in our house we have lots of black crows. Now that's all I can think about is the song.
I know, I love that song.
Everything he does is catchy.
Stories the crow told me long ago. Stories of mystery, the only ones he knows. Stories of history, stories of the past. Stories of things to come at last. Told me stories of the day before the dawn of man. Nature worked in harmony and peace. All the creatures of the earth could talk and understand. Knew that all their blessings would increase. Stories the crow told me long ago. Stories of mystery, the only ones he knows. Stories of history, stories of the past. Stories of things to come at last. Told me how the dawn of man changed the tree of life. Darkness slowly came upon the land. Told me of the consequence of war and greed and strife, and hoped that I would come to understand. Stories a crow told me long ago. Stories of mystery, the only ones he knows. Stories of history, stories of the past. Stories of things to come at last. Told me how the future is still within our hands. We can work toward a brighter day. We could come together, come to understand that together we could find a better way. Stories a crow told me long ago. Stories of mystery, the only ones he knows. Stories of history, stories of the past. Stories of things to come at last.
I love that. I love it. Oh, God. You know, when I hear your songs, they have that definite bent towards peace, and the hopefulness that a lot of us had in the 70s, 60s, whatever, and it comes out clear as a bell. And we need this now. We really do. There's one other song that, well, he sings many, but that Gary wrote called "Milk and Honey." Did you write it, or did you?
No, I did write
You
that.
write that. Every time I hear that, and especially when I was trying to prepare for surgery, I would picture our Upton Beach. You know, if you're from out of town, you're like, why? But I would picture this, and I would picture getting into a boat, like a canoe, Milk and Honey on the other side, starting from one road, School Street, and then taking it and going all the way over to where we all sit on the beach and get sun. And then maybe we were filming this happening. So your songs take me somewhere. They you know, like the crow and the river, and on the other side, Milk and Honey on the other side. What's your favorite of all of your songs?
Oh, gee. You know, that's like asking which is your favorite child.
Yeah.
However, in my case, being a parent of one child, that's easy. But
Me too.
I would say probably my favorite song is a song called "Heart of the Sun" that I wrote for Carol before I met her.
So actually, that's how it turned out.
It turned out that Carol was the person that the song was about, and
Prophetic.
I didn't know it.
You didn't know it, but it was coming.
Right.
Oh my God. Now, Gary and Carol are from West Brookfield, and do you have any gigs coming up? Either one of you?
Well, we have a multimedia show. I shouldn't call it show when I'm referring to a church. Multimedia program at the Unitarian Church in Brookfield coming up in March.
That's where I have one of your CDs that was taped
Right.
from that church. They seem to be very wonderful about having you there.
I don't know if you're aware of the multimedia shows that we do, but
No.
we do. We call them multimedia shows. It combines poetry, music, and projected images, beautiful projected images that are correlated with the poems and the music. So we do these in a number of places.
So somebody actually, it's what I do with my mind, to put images to the music and everything in the poetry. Somebody's actually doing this up on a film?
We do it
You do it?
ourselves. Yeah.
While you're...
Yeah, I downloaded hundreds of images from the web beautiful images that go along with the poems and the music, and so it's all one comprehensive. It's intended to create a sense of an alternate reality in the audience, a more romantic worldview.
Are they real scenes from like local areas?
From all over the
I
world.
was going to say, come to Upton, try our beach area. Gosh, I can't begin to check. Really, I mean, it's not the White Mountains, but it's really peaceful here. You know, it's really. I've never fallen in love with a town beach as much as I have here, because I never was into town beaches.
We've actually never seen it. We've actually
It's
never
right down
seen
the street.
Well,
When you came School Street, did you come from 495?
No.
Okay, you came the other way around.
Right.
If you just continued straight down School Street the other direction, you're going to run right into the, I call it the lake, but it's called Pratt Pond. It's big enough to be a lake.
Right.
And if you keep going and you look across, the beach is on the other side. You can actually, Glenn can tell you afterwards how to get there, but it is a beautiful wooded, not long, but a wooded drive-in, opens up. I love it.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. It doesn't take long. It's about 5 minutes from here. I think you'd really...
Hmm.
Carol, do you do any... I would think schools would love to have you read for the kids. The teenagers, do you?
Not usually in the schools, no.
Senior centers, maybe.
Senior centers, and there's a new cultural arts center in Ware, actually, that we did a program there. Retirement homes, private parties, that sort of thing. Usually we do them at no charge as well, and
Yeah.
sort of our way to give back to the society, you know.
Well, we were
So-
both there for first
Oh.
night, here our first night in Upton.
Right.
Right.
And it's our little organic cafe here, and we went in there, and there they were. We had to try and hit as many places as we could along the way. But Gary, how did I hear about you first?
You had something on Craigslist looking for people.
Okay, that was way back when we. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when you answered me.
And I answered, and you were nice enough to have me come on. And
Oh, that was great. And then we met Carol too. And Glenn and I have been to the Worcester Public Library and filmed Glenn and Gary and Carol there when they were there, and Richard Bachtold
right.
was there also. And Matt Bachtold, our librarian right here in town, is his son.
Right.
Small world. Every time, very often I'll say to Matt, "How's your dad?" I wouldn't know who his dad was until I met you folks.
Right.
At all. Do you have any libraries you're going to coming up?
No libraries coming up. Carol and I are doing a program again at the New England Folk Festival this year.
When's that?
That is the weekend of April 26th.
Let me get this down. April 26th. Where's it going to be? At?
It's in Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Mansfield. That's not far from Foxborough, where my parents live.
Right. And last year, Carol, Richard, and I did a program. We did the Earth Hymn program, a program of poems and
Yeah.
music about nature. This year, Carol and I are doing a presentation of songs from the International Workers of the World, Radical Labor Union from 100 years ago,
Yeah.
and combining music and history,
Wow.
and giving people a chance to sing along as well.
Okay, so it's at the April 26th, in Mansfield, Massachusetts, the New England Folk Festival.
Right.
Folk Festival. Do you know what time of day it begins?
It runs all day long. It starts Friday evening at about 6 and runs till 10. Then it's, I think, from 9 to 10 on Saturday,
All right.
and from 9 to 5 on Sunday.
Sort of like Woodstock.
Sort of like Woodstock.
Did you go to Woodstock? You weren't old enough. I wasn't old.
I was old enough, but not brave enough.
Yeah, I don't think I would have lasted long there. I think the space of like 1 inch between everybody, and then maybe the bathroom outlook wasn't that good. But I love the. Have you seen the movie? You've seen the movie,
Oh,
right?
sure,
Yeah.
anytime.
I showed that to my son, who's only 21 now, and I showed it to him in his, before he hit his teens, and I thought, oh, he won't watch this, early teens. He sat there mesmerized. He went, that's what the hippies were all about. I'm like, yeah, man. They were. Their group is so different. It's like, oh, the horrible. The rap,
Right.
which like to me is like, it's just over and over. Our songs had a theme, a tune, something about them.
There was this optimism.
Yeah.
Hippies get a bad rap these days, you know. But there was a real optimistic feeling
Yeah.
that the world really could be changed, and we were part of that movement, and it was great.
Oh, we still are.
It
That's
was-
big. I've talked with Gary about the baby boomers. I mean, this is a group that rocked the world. It is still rocking it. Probably will right till we go out.
Right. Of course, now
Trying
we're
to see-
rocking it in our rocking chairs. But,
Well, I don't want to get another rocking chair. You see, when are the senior centers going to get it that when the boomers decide they're interested, it's going to have to be a whole new kind of genre about it. Like fun. I mean, really, I don't want to sit in a chair and just do exercise. I want to be like communicating and networking, and shopping is a good idea. I think that's good. Maybe bingo once a month. Something like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fun.
well, and I think, the senior centers will change as the generation of seniors change.
Well, a lot of people are just turning 50, They tell me, I get that propaganda from AARP, so I just deep six it into the trash. I'm like, have you noticed the cover, though? I said. They're beginning to cater. They'll have Paul McCartney, they'll have Maria Shriver is on the new one. You're thinking, what is Jerry? If I see somebody I can relate to now.
Right.
I remember seeing that. How old was I in my? Not how old. I mean, I would visit mom and dad, and they'd have it on their coffee table. I'm like, ugh. Nah, I don't think of that. And then you start getting the propaganda, where you're like, what are you? At 50, to me, that's like, whoa.
Right. But, it's just a reminder
That you're going to die.
Well, no, I think, to me, it's a reminder of the good things to come.
Yeah, a whole new way of
And,
life.
As you get into your retirement years, retirement now is very different, but
Oh, yeah.
it opens up and it gives you more time to do the things that are meaningful to you.
Right.
So I have fully embraced getting into my senior years.
You're definitely, really. I mean, I don't think of senior. I mean, I've talked with a lot of people. I don't think of it until maybe someone hits around 80, 85. Because the people I know, most of my friends, let's say from 45 to 75, a lot of them are starting over again at 60. I
Right.
talk with a lot of entrepreneurs, and they're just beginning. They've left the corporate, or they've been booted from corporate. What are they going to do? They're going to follow their passion, and they've got a whole other part of their life coming up, and they're going to. That's great. I mean, who's to say what will happen? Some people are going back to college at 75.
Absolutely. When I was working on my master's degree, it was a distance learning program, but we'd get together twice a year. And the first meeting of our group, one of the women in the group was in her 70s. And when she was asked what her goals were, she said to stay in college until she died so she didn't have to pay that back student loans.
Oh my! I never even thought of that. Did you guys get this out here? Okay, so stay in college.
Stay in college till she died so she didn't have to pay back her student loans.
Is that sort of like if you're becoming a doctor, but then you don't get to practice?
Well, you don't get to practice, but you've had a lot of knowledge, and
Stay in college. So if, let's say, somebody wanted to pick a topic in college, something to major in, stick with it till you might make it to 100.
well,
And you can still use it on the side.
there you go.
You could still
you
and
go.
make money that way.
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool. Did you have anything, let's see, before our first night here in Upton or after, following it? Or was that it, just for that point in time?
As far as performances,
Yeah.
I was supposed to play at the Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton, Massachusetts, the night of the major snowstorm.
Oh, no. That didn't happen.
So that didn't happen. But we're always looking for places to play and trying to arrange performances.
Yeah.
And certainly, if anybody would like to have us come out and perform, the website for me is garyblanchard.info, and there's ways of contacting me, and we would be more than happy to come out and perform for folks.
Do you want to give an email where they can reach you?
That would be Iris Musica, IrisMusica, at Hughes, HUGHES.net.
Yeah. Would you play another song?
Sure.
Could you? Well, I don't know. You decide. I know what you want to hear. You decide.
This is actually a newer song, and it's the title track of the CD I will eventually complete,
We have 2 new CDs, by the way. Luna Dreams and...
Earth Hymn. Walk gracefully through the day, walk in the sunshine and light. Live gracefully all the way, filling your soul with delight. Bask in the warmth of the sun, let happiness fill up your soul. Walk gracefully through the day, let your love make you whole. Walk gracefully through the night, walk in the stars and the moon. Walk gracefully in the light, let your soul call the tune. Open your heart to the wind, let happiness fill up your soul. Walk gracefully through the night, let your love make you whole. Makes no difference if the sun is shining or if it's cloudy and gray. Keep your thoughts on the hope of tomorrow. You can get through the day. Walk gracefully through your dreams. Let them carry you through the night. Your hope is stronger than it seems. Let it carry you to the light. Your dreams are a map to your soul and lead you to where you should be. Walk gracefully through your dreams. Let your love make you free.
Oh, another good one. You know, another one with a lot of hope. The message in Gary's music is definitely upbeat.
Yeah, I think that there's such a need for hope and an understanding of the interconnectedness of life. And I would prefer my music to give people that sense of hope.
Oh, yeah. I feel it. You know, I was really very, very nervous. A lot of my friends know before my surgery. It was major ear surgery. I may not get part of that hearing back, but that's the least of it. They got the rest of the bad stuff out of there. But and listening, you know, I would listen to different CDs, thinking what appeals to me. And then when I got to yours, I'm like, this is it. I went to the hospital with me. I think I listened to it pre-op. I think I may have listened to a little bit of it post-op.
Okay.
And I had it. It's still right by the bed. But into the middle of the night, you know, you get nervous. I would be listening to it. And I would be picturing our beach. I would be picturing the crow. And I mean, the whole 9 yards. And that got me out of it. For some reason or other, the Indian meditation didn't do it for me. You know, this really reached me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think I was sharing it with the staff too. Like, what are you listening to? And then I got to tell them who you were. We'll probably only have a couple minutes left. Can you lead us out with a song? We'll say goodbye and we'll end on a song.
All right.
How's that?
Let's see what.
How about Milk and Honey? We'll picture the beach. Can you do that?
I will try to do that.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, newer songs sometimes
You want to do
the
a new one?
memory is not as good as it was for songs I wrote or performed 20 years ago.
Okay, do what you want.
The water's deep and the water's wide, milk and honey on the other side. Sail out on the rising tide toward a brighter day. Sailing to the distant sea, set my sail into the gentle breeze. Won't you come along with me to help me find the way? I don't know just where the ship may take me. I don't know what treasure I may find. I just know whatever's out there waiting, it's better than the world I leave behind. wide, milk and honey on the other side. Sail out on the rising tide toward a brighter day.
Thank you so much on that note.
Thank
Gary
you.
Blanchard, wife Carol, thank you so much
You're
for being on
welcome.
the
Thank
show.
you.
And definitely we
Thank
will
you.
launch you for a four. This was the triple encore. We have a fourple encore coming up. Thank you so much,
Thank you for having
and we'll
us.
see you again. See you
Okay.
next time and be my guest.
Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river,